Hear ye, and hear ye. We have someone very, very special join the show. Very special guest for our audio listeners. Just know that his name rhymes with Mr. Schmuddle. So we'll be talking about March Madness. Tuttle's got a lot of stuff that he wants to bring to the table since he's been gone for so long. So can't wait to hear his takes on free agency and the upcoming rookie draft. And really, whatever else you want to get into, it's the No Days Off season on the Swolecast, sponsored by ikb.gg.
Are you David Maddox from the Swolecast? I was like, yep, that's me.
I just want you guys to know I'm total dust. I'm the problem.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Leave it to the guy with the crypto dunes, Abby, to not understand context.
I should have known you getting 30 likes was directly written by someone else.
You know me, I don't do a ton of research before the show.
I've put no research into this. Don't know if it's true at all.
You're on the right show.
To it, bro. Live a little.
Live a little.
Just live a little, guys.
All right, welcome in. Peter OVERZETS, Davis Maddock, Mr. Tuttle 05. I'm David Kitchen, and we are ready to get this Swolecast started. And I just want to go straight to our special guest with Mr. Tuttle 05. Tuttle, how are you doing right now?
How are you doing, Dan?
How are you?
You know what? I'm doing all right, guys. Had no excuses to not show up today. No soccer going on. We're on a little bit of a break here. Forgot the Thursday's projections done for college basketball. Just finished up tonight's for the NIT. And so figured I'd hop in.
Maybe that's why, because you knew it might be like a March Madness focused episode, kind of your specialty right now. You want to give a lock later on in the show for the people for some props.
We could do a little IKB lock action.
Yeah, I don't know if the IKB has college props. They do have NBA props, though, for all your needs there.
It's silly season, guys.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, you see some of the stuff going on in the NBA? It's fucking silly season out there.
But Tuttle, for like behind the scenes, for those that might not know, like Davis, typically we talk in our chat, and Tuttle just never posts. I guess he would be a lurker in our private chat, and so he didn't tell us that he was going to be on today's show. He just shows up and surprises us, and what a great surprise it was.
So I missed so many weeks. So the status quo was always I'm on. But I understand that I missed so many weeks that it's like maybe that
the status quo became that you're not ever on.
Yeah, so maybe now I have to announce, and I wasn't aware of that. But yeah, I mean, I would have just missed if I knew you guys weren't expecting me.
I would have liked, I'm running out of fodder. Like I make the same jokes about Kitchen and Davis every single week, and I would really like someone else to work with here. So I would have appreciated knowing you were going to be on the show today for my overview.
You're going to get a good test of your improv skills today.
Tuttle, if someone like when the chat says "Good morning, Barrel Boys," do you know what that is in reference to?
There's no way.
David wants a barrel chest. I saw tweets about this.
I like that transcended YouTube to other parts of the internet.
Yeah,
very nice. Okay, so you're pretty much all caught up then. I want a barrel chest.
That's really all you've missed. No, it's basically what you missed was we asked David what his dream body would be, and his snap answer without thinking was Jonathan Bales. Just snap immediate. What's your dream physique? And he said Jonathan Bales.
Is Pete's just his own? Is that
I don't know. What did I say?
He said
Zac
like
Efron
Zac Efron. Yeah.
Zac
Efron musical too.
Not current Zac Efron though, right? Isn't he's pretty roided up?
He fluctuates. He said Zac Efron from High School Musical 2.
Sorry, I should say natty Zac Efron.
Natty Zac Efron. Okay.
And then the other thing is, Tuttle, when you hear Island Women, do you kind of think of those Island Women as having large hands and giving you massages?
I do not. I do not. I don't know the reference of that one, but I do not.
Dave.
That's a pretty important one that you missed.
Yeah, you need to know that one.
That is Swolecast lore. Basically, Dave just talking about being on vacation and said one of the highlights was having a large island woman rub him down.
I didn't say it was highlight. We were talking about couples massages, and I said that I had one of those island, large island woman with big hands rubbing me down, and she, placed my hand inside of Holly's, and
Nice.
yeah, and
Romantic.
that's what I said, and so that then kind of spawned the whole island woman. So when you see those references, now you're all caught up.
He's all caught up.
Were there any big Universal women who gave you massages on your trip last week?
No massages, but to your original question, yes, we went to I guess it'd be an island water park. It's called Volcano Bay. And let me just tell you, there are all shapes and sizes there. I mean,
let's save that for behind the paywall. Let's save all theme park discussion for behind the paywall, because I don't want to say.
I'm guessing the scenery is better than the Midwest water park scenery. We'll just.
Tuttle, I'm gonna guess no.
I really don't know. So, anyways, yeah, if you were a Mimby and you tuned in last Friday's show behind the paywall with Pete Davis and me, we talked a little bit about some of that stuff.
That was a good show. We had a good show.
That was a good show. And let me give a tease again to become a YouTube member. You got to go watch that show, because Davis makes a revelation about his wife that blew all of our minds. Like, we still couldn't believe it. You have to become a YouTube member just to go hear that nugget.
Yeah,
it's true.
And the reason why he does not want to go to Disney.
That will get me canceled. That will for sure get me canceled. All right, Dave.
let's we got free agency to talk about. We got March Madness to talk about. We've got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to talk about. Lots of stuff. But before we do that, we got to set the table. We got to give the people just what they want, and what they want is Mr. OVERZETS overview.
Got that dog in a butt. Got that dog in a butt. OVERZETS overview. Come on.
As of this weekend, Underdog is no longer operating in the state of New York. Think how rich Davis could be if he moved to New York.
They have State Farm there?
Yeah. Man, David Kitchen sure is looking refreshed after his vacation. It's going to be wild to see his output as a rejuvenated employee in the coming weeks.
He worked so hard to get that draft guide out, Pete.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get 500 words in the late round QB newsletter about today being National Sloppy Joe Day.
Is it really?
Is it really? National holidays today. It's also Forgive
Slop
Mom and Dad
vibes.
Day, which I'm like, how did that become a holiday? And you know what? Normally, we do some jokes here, but I actually have a sponsor for OVERZETS overview today. So if you guys don't mind, I just got to do a little ad read here. Like Mr. Tuttle 05, March Madness is here, folks. There's some of the improv there on changing that ad. But we know it can be hard to watch the action while your boss is peering over your shoulder. That's why the Swolecast is introducing the Swole Boss button. If you are watching the games and hear your boss sneaking up on you, simply click the Swole button and a rainbow swath of Pantone color options will magically appear on your screen. Sure, you might be watching Creighton Louisville on the company dime, but as far as your boss is concerned, the new company logo is getting a much-needed facelift. That's right, boss. Pantone 17-230 Mocha Mousse. It's actually the 2025 Pantone color of the year. A warm, soft brown hue that evokes comfort and indulgence. He'll be none the wiser. The Swole Boss button is included in all YouTube memberships. Become a member today and start multitasking like you're Davis fucking Maddock. I was going to write more
No
jokes,
one
but
can
then I
get
went
to
down
that
the rabbit
level.
hole of writing that ad. Back to you, Dave.
That was like 4 inside
really
jokes
is.
in one bit. That'll take you.
Mocha Moose really is the color of the year.
I
just
know.
looked that up.
I do research.
That might not get as many laugh out louds from the audience at home, Pete, but that right there was like 4 inside jokes inside a joke. That was multi-layer. I felt like I was watching an episode of Twin Peaks right there.
That's the evolution of the Swolecast of just like pretty soon, like if you haven't watched every second of this show, you are not going to understand a word.
You're not going to understand a word of it. Yeah. I mean, we're on season 10 here, so we've got a lot going on.
We're entering our 11th or 12th year. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the landscape of the NFL. Tuttle, we haven't heard your thoughts really on some of the free agency fallout.
Tuttle, do you have literally
I can't
thought?
I can't believe the Bengals signed T and Jamar Chase for $100 million more than Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. It's just unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Crazy.
I mean,
Or do you
so
feel
much of the
okay?
salary cap.
Tuttle, as a Packers fan, do you feel like Squidward inside the house watching SpongeBob and Patrick play, seeing everyone get good wide receivers, and they're like, yeah, we have a good wide receiver at home. His name is Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted the DK Metcalf thing to go our way. And I didn't, I liked that hype. That didn't happen. So no, I think we don't have a whole lot coming our way.
How do you feel about, let me ask this first. How do you feel about Rodgers just like begging for a job?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's satisfying. I mean, that to give it to Packers management, right? Cut bait on 2 QBs before. I like being aggressive has worked there. Where's Rodgers' ideal landing spot now? I think the Steelers is still kind of.
Well, he wants to play for the Vikings.
Pittsburgh or nothing.
Yeah, I think he wants to play for the Vikings, and I think only
they don't want him. Right?
Is willing to have him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why isn't Rodgers like of all the players in the NFL right now? He has set himself up for a successful post NFL media career. He's got the McAfee connections. He's got the Netflix doc. He can, start some crackpot, podcast where he has Alex Jones on as a guest. Like, why isn't he just going to make a lot of money? Why is he putting himself through being a shitty NFL quarterback for another year?
You can't let go. I mean, that seems like an easy one to answer. Like
guy with an ego.
It's like your identity, right? When it's your identity, it's just tough to let go.
I think if you polled everyone in America right now, they would say his identity is more the crackpot media guy than it is an NFL quarterback. It's only him who thinks his identity is still an NFL quarterback.
Baggage aside, would he have a job right now? Baggage aside,
yes. If he was just like a guy that you think would come in the locker room and be like a good presence, like Brady. Like, say whatever you want about Brady. No one ever said Brady was a bad teammate. No one ever said I didn't like going to work with that guy. 100%. He'd probably already be the Steelers quarterback.
Okay.
I think I agree with
Tuttle,
that for sure. No one wants to deal with this bullshit.
Who is Sam Darnold, the quarterback?
What's going on with your internet, Kitchen?
Yeah, you're struggling. Darnold's for the Seahawks now. I know that one.
Kitchen just feels so good that there's someone on that knows less about football than him
right
now. That he's quizzing him.
They're kind of disastrous though, like everywhere else, though, right? Like that's gonna be probably not great.
Yeah, the current working theory is that they want Jaxson Dart. That Darnold is, because the Darnold contract is basically a year-over-year deal where eventually like they can cut him for no money lost if he can pass a physical, like the same as the Daniel Jones deal actually. So they might just be using him as the bridge. But yeah, they're pressing the reset button, I think.
And we're high on Dart as a Swolecast podcast, right?
Davis
just so
he's just so heavy lifting on that.
He's just so handsome, dude. I mean, how can you Tuttle, would you be surprised to know that there's NFL draft buzz about Tyler Shough, the quarterback from Louisville, Texas Tech, and Oregon? Does that surprise you?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good fit for fantasy. I'm not sure he's very good in real life.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like Dart? Because I think Dart's pretty good.
I like Dart. I think he's solid for sure. I mean, I feel like it's been ages because I jump from sport to sport so much. I feel like it's been forever since I've looked at college football stuff. Who's even in this NFL draft class, QB wise?
There's just three names basically.
Yeah, Ward, Shador, Dart,
and then Milrow after that.
Milrow, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, he's top 3 easy.
The there was that latest batch of mock drafts that came out that had a lot of them had Sanders going to the Giants at 3. Where do the new ones have Dart going, Davis? I didn't look.
Let's pull up Mr. McShay. I would assume that the quarterback movement over like the last week has probably been bad for Dart. I assume he's probably full because the Raiders were sometimes mocked. The Jets were sometimes mocked. There you go. Jeremiah has him to the Steelers at 21. Okay. Feels like Steelers Seahawks are kind of what you're hoping with Steelers not signing Rodgers being, absolute best case right now.
What's the podcast take on Shador?
I kind of like him. Not a popular take.
I'm with you on this, Davis. Like all the people saying he's going to fall out of the top 10. Like I will bet on that. I think that's
it'll be interesting to see. I mean, he holds the ball so long.
Yes, he does. Yeah,
that'll be interesting to see if he can adapt. Yeah,
but he's really accurate though. That's the thing is he's just super accurate, and like you can build off that. If that's the base, you can build off that. It's a lot harder to teach the guy who makes all the crazy plays and stuff, but then only completes 58% of his passes or whatever. Like Shador is really accurate. Not that athletic, which it's crazy because he's Deion Sanders' kid. It's like, what do you mean Deion Sanders' kid is not an athletic freak? And he's really not at all. Like, from doing projections, he like did not run, which is weird.
Yeah, he towards the end of he started to run a little bit more towards the end of the year. But I mean, again, college football sacks count against rushing yards, right? So, when he takes a sack, he takes a sack. We're talking, 20-yard loss type of sack.
Because he tries to keep the plays alive.
Right. And that's the other thing. Like he never checked down. And I mean, part of that was probably because the running backs were terrible with Welch and Dalen Hayden there. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it will translate.
What kind of stuff are you playing DFS wise now, Tuttle?
Currently sweating. So we got tennis today, down in Miami. DraftKings only posted WTA. WTA, I don't know if you guys know this. WTA is a lot more like higher variance.
Oh, it's the best. I love betting on women's tennis.
I mean, it is. It's a lot. It's pure gambling, right? Like, which is fun.
Are you a Coco fan?
It's pure gambling. She double faults a lot to be like she double faults too much to be good at for.
Who's your favorite
tennis.
WTA player? Say the right answer.
One.
Oh, come on.
I don't have one.
Sabalenka, dude. She is a fucking tank.
She's a tank. She's a tank.
She is so good. Yeah, I really like watching her play.
Yeah, so we got that. League of Legends is going on. We got the European Masters. I actually don't have to do projections for that, which is nice. So that's what I would just be doing right now. If I was not on here, I'd just be watching that on the side. I actually am still watching it, but on the side. We got a lot of stuff. We got college basketball. We've got what else do I have to do projections for? I feel like it's everything.
Do you have to do World Cup qualification stuff?
No. Thankfully, I mean, people want it, right? But like data is just hard to find for a lot of it. Like people want it for all these really lower level English leagues too. And it's like,
they want you projecting the League Cup. FA Cup 4th round. You need your Preston North End projections.
People just don't know, and I don't blame them. They don't understand what goes into actually making a soccer projection, which is hard to start from. But like when you don't have, like maybe that data is available out there, but we'd probably have to pay $10,000 to opt.
Yeah, you'd have to pay StatsBomb probably. I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like it's not something we're gonna offer, thankfully, because people like soccer's 24/7. Now is our break time for soccer, but
yeah,
I mean, there's matches going on constantly.
Yeah, the Argentinian first division is still playing today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Davis, how do you have time to keep up with like soccer, women's tennis while streaming like 6 hours a day?
Not having any other real job.
Both are pretty good SofaScore sweats. Honestly, you don't have to watch those ones.
You don't have to watch a ton. I also subscribe to a lot of newsletters. Like, really is the answer. Like, I subscribe to, like, for every sport I like, I subscribe to a newsletter. Like, I have a basketball newsletter I really like, a soccer newsletter I really like, tennis, golf. So you pick up on a lot of the conversation.
These are like individual newsletters that you do you just pick and choose to read them? Do you get like a digest of them all? Like that's
No, I just pick and choose. Like, if I get the notification on my phone and I'm not immediately doing something, I will read it. And if I'm not, and my rule is if I check my email 3 times and I leave it unread and I haven't read it yet, I just delete it and I move on to the next day, to the next thing.
So my goal, and I've done this now, with the late round stuff, is handle every email and like category. I want inbox 0 for all my late round stuff.
I have inbox 0 just in general, but I'm just built different, Dave.
But I mean,
0 for life. Come on.
Do you have inbox 0 on like your personal email?
I have inbox 0 for everything.
Oh gosh, my
only unread emails are emails I've sent myself as to do things.
Oh, I've got
so we don't have any like 500 text messages left on.
Usually I do. I've got my main email is 2100 inbox.
No, Dave, and that's just so perfect for your personality. Like, obviously, of course, that is what Dave's inbox would be.
How many of them are Bonnie Chan looking for some work from India?
I've got so many like alerts. Like I can't. And part of this, like I probably need a separate email address for like certain things. I've got like one catch-all.
Do you know that you can build up automated filters in Gmail to tag and sort? Didn't we do this conversation at one point?
Yeah, I do. That's what I've done with late round. So like every Shopify email that comes in will be tagged, and but I've got so many different emails for this Gmail account that I've had for 15 years, and so like I don't even know where to start with that. Like one by one, I would want to do it till it got to 0. And I just don't
delete every email you have, and if it was important enough, someone will send you a follow-up.
No, don't delete them. Just mark every email as unread.
Every email,
and then start processing any new message.
Okay, that's actually what I'm gonna do.
You're welcome.
You're definitely not going to do it. Like, you just lied to Peter and to everyone.
No. Because I've already done that. But it's part of the overwhelming stuff.
Great productivity hack. Peter said this before. This is not new or novel advice, but like most of the time an email can be dealt with pretty quickly. So like, don't put it in the back of your mind. Just like answer it. Just answer it.
No,
do what you got to do.
I kind of disagree, Dave, depending on the context. I will say this. If you are in, like, as an employee, like, I think it's bad, like, if you respond to, like, your boss's email, sorry, JJ, at, like, 8:30 p.m. at night at 8:31, because then they are conditioned to think that they can email you at any time and get an automatic response. So depending on who it is,
JJ can message me. He can DM me.
You have a cool boss.
But
for the people who don't have cool bosses, don't let them think that you're going to respond in 30 seconds right away, But that's, again, Gmail is a feature. You can say snooze this for 8 hours until I'm at my desk in the morning. You can handle it that way.
It is funny because like COVID. COVID kind of like I remember. Because we transitioned from being in office to no longer being in office, and so you like message somebody, and then people were getting like outside just, and then you get a text message and be like, hey, just making sure you saw my Slack message, or just making sure you saw my Slack message about my email. You know, it was, we were conditioned to being like away from the office, but still like all the time, like being online. So
I mean, this is obviously something I need to solve, but like basically, if you have ever reached out to me in a business sense and I have not responded to you in 5 minutes, that is probably shocking. Like if you've ever reached out to me about a business deal, YouTube,
that's crazy, Davis. You haven't even like a proposal, like something you need to chew on and think about. It's just bam.
Hey, yes, snap.
Well, or I will say I'm not interested, or I'll say let's set up a call. I'll say like this is like I'm talking about in business, maybe not the right word, professional sense. If you've ever reached out to me about the Swolecast, YouTube, whatever, I'm responding to you immediately.
Does this include Boom Fantasy in your Twitter DMs?
No. You know the new one is I get a DM about they must be automated about every 72 hours from Dub Club.
Yeah.
And from the other one, Dub Club and Odd Shopper. Just like all these those. About being like, come on, man, you got to get on. And I'm like, do you guys
I actually
know
feel
who
like
I
you
am?
could crush on Dub Club, Davis, if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to start doing crimes, there's a lot of money out there for me to make. But I am not, you can tell I'm not hungry enough yet because the crimes have not really started. If you see me doing crimes on the internet, though, you'll know I got hungry, basically.
Does Dub Club force you to like show your pick success, like your record?
I certainly would think they don't. I would guess that is pretty antithetical to their business model.
Did you guys see the last week tonight?
Yeah, I watched that yesterday.
Did you watch all? Yeah, did you watch it, Davis?
No, dude, I was watching Samsula grunt in a garage.
John Oliver.
What's the bit?
He just did his classic sports like, send up. Is sports betting bad? Kind of like from the normie angle.
Yeah. And it is. I mean, I think, can we just all admit it? Like the average person is so much dumber than any of us realize. And that person just like, I don't know, probably sports betting is bad for them.
Well, there's just some practices that probably needs to be curtailed. But the end, so no comment on like the companies that were mentioned, in this piece. But what I realized, they did a bit at the end on Grift Kings, and
shout out to me.
Was that your name?
No, but it could be.
Oh.
That's gonna be my Dub Club.
Well, Jean Ralphio from Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Love it.
They have him, the actor, being the head of Grift Kings. And then I realized John Ralphio and Jason Robbins look a lot alike. And I wonder if that's like why they cast him in that role. So that's really, and then they also had who else? The guy from
it was Adam Pally from Happy Endings. He got a bunch of the like comedians to do it.
And the SNL, not Horatio Sands. It's the guy who I always confuse with Horatio Sands, the other guy. Yeah. From Saturday Night Live. Anyways. Was interesting. I mean, I think that kind of stuff always just invites room for self-reflection. You know, you don't like public sentiment being
it's good to see how things are perceived from the outside, because a lot of stuff gets like normalized for us, or it's just even like white noise. Like so much gambling marketing is complete white noise to us. We've heard every angle, every kind of hook. And then when someone actually like zooms out and it's almost like if you recommend a song to someone and then you start listening to it as if they're hearing it for the first time, you know, that's like when I heard John Oliver describing it, you're like, okay, oh yeah, I do see how this looks pretty weird on the outside.
Yeah. Like when they talked to, so one of the things they talked about was the VIP gifts of like receiving a crown and stuff. And like as someone who's in the industry, like we think that stuff is awesome, but like hearing him describe it from the outside, looking in, is like, okay, if you're not like in the the industry all the time, I get it.
No, that gift was lame. That crown gift was lame. How about these bad boys here though? These
are those from DraftKings?
Oh yeah, the shoe surgeon Python.
More like
whatever.
Gift King. Look
know.
at that. No, we had Jeff Edelstein, former Swolecast guest on Lulz, and he had written a piece recently for Casino Report, kind of talking about the hypocrisy of vilifying gambling relative to the shopping industry, which has higher addiction 100%. Rates than even gambling. They just don't have the the shadowy, like pernicious, stigma that gambling does. But I do think the difference is like the way gambling is marketed is way more predatory than in some of these other industries.
Right. Like, I mean, you have like abandoned cart campaigns that you can do for like the shopping stuff and, the instant. Which,
by the way, Kitchen, I'm going to buy the draft guide. Just stop emailing me.
I'll give you a discount code.
Let's just say your boss already slid into my DMs and gave me an influencer copy, brother.
Oh. Davis, did you get an influencer copy?
Mm-hmm. He put it in the group chat.
Oh, I thought I missed
Jeez,
that.
Wow, I know my status now. I'll just have to keep reading this March Madness one from Shot Quality instead.
Well,
speaking of which, Tuttle, can you help us win our bracket with one simple trick?
Yeah.
I cannot, but I had a proud father moment. My 12-year-old approached me this morning and said, "Dad, my Spanish teacher's putting a pool together. Can you help me make a bracket so that I can win a free Subway lunch?"
And you said, "Por supuesto, hombre, vamos."
Sí.
That's awesome. Last year was the second year I think we did, but the first year for the women. So we fill out our family. We fill out a bracket for the men's, and last year we did the women's. We're doing the same thing. So I've already printed out. I was a little bit petty. I printed mine out in color, and I printed my 3 girls and my wife's out in black and white, just to let them know. Just to let them know.
Yeah.
Just to let them know.
We've been doing it a few years now in the family. I think they look forward to it because I think we set the prizes too high.
Well, I was gonna say Tuttle for your family. That's just the size of like a normal bracket challenge.
Yeah. It's basically a bracket pool. I mean,
the game theory involved in a Tuttle family bracket is myriad.
We get the grandparents involved, and they get $5 for beating each adult.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if they beat it, so we get the grandparents have to come to play. I mean, but the quality of bracket is like my 8-year-old is picking Bryant to go to the Final Four. He's like Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
So like, I mean,
hey,
so
that's,
I mean,
it's just like that's kind of my process.
Yeah, I mean that. Well, we watched the selection show now, and I was like, where'd the girls go? And I was so proud because we were watching the selection show, and I got my girls, my wife, and all of a sudden, like they come in and they're all dressed in black and gold with pom-poms, and they start doing this cheer. And I'm like, all right, this is a little different than what I thought, but still pretty cool. And then they did the costume change and did UK colors. So I just like that they're getting into it.
What's the black and gold for?
Vandy's in the tournament this year.
Are they?
Did you see their shot chart? And their shot chart's hilarious.
Is it in a good way? Like just only 3s and 2s? Or
there's nothing on the outsides, or there's nothing on the wings. It's all.
Now, Tuttle, I learned something
yesterday.
Very weird. I did a little March Madness, just like data thing with Kyle Soppe from PFN. And I would have never guessed this in a million years, but apparently Wisconsin plays Maury ball.
Yep.
Like how did that happen? How did Wisconsin?
Changed. I mean,
what the fuck? How is it? Did they get like BYU's coach or like what happened?
Do you guys? You might remember this name. You get because if you followed college basketball for a while, Kirk Penny. He was a Badger. He was a kind of a 3-point assassin. He's an Aussie. He is being credited for basically just completely changing. He's on the coaching staff. He's basically credited for completely changing their offense. And I give their head coach, Greg Gard, some credit for that because it was Badgers was just stuck in their ways for so long.
Yeah,
and it seemed like that was going to be the case.
Back them down, stiffest white guys imaginable, playing power forward. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, they also are like led by like a 30-year-old dude. I mean, that's the era of college basketball now. John Donji's like super old. So that like that's some of it is they just
How is Hunter Dickinson still playing? This guy's like
that's wild.
Dude, he was dominant. He was dominant 2 years ago, and it seems like he's been less dominant.
He's been awful
now.
For KU. Yeah, he's been
terrible investment for Michigan. He was legit. It seems like with like it just seems like with the SEC having 14 teams in and all these like this could be the craziest tournament of them all. Like there's not really one team that is head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still pretty top loaded. I think like I saw this take being thrown around, and I think I kind of agree with it that because of NIL, you basically don't have a juggernaut player that can carry a mid-major team anymore because all the good players are on.
They'll go be the seventh man for some mid-tier SEC school.
That's like Florida. Jalen Richard, he's from Belmont. He was at Belmont last year, and now at Florida,
you're not getting the Steph Curry Davidson anymore. It's like basically impossible.
Yep. I think I agree with that.
Do you want to explain? Because I didn't even know what Leone was tweeting about. I legit had never even heard like the phrasing of quad one opponents, and you did a little normie dunking.
This is real. This is the quad one stuff is like real normie shit.
Well, normie. It's a very centered view. These teams are all the same essentially. They're taking Duke as a quad one team, and they're saying they're the same as the bottom end of the quad one team.
So Peter, in my mind, we could get back. I just want to make this point. College basketball guys, like guys who are like really into college basketball, that's a real specific subset of dude. And I view that as actually part of normie culture. Like someone who cares about like who has like a real strong opinion on Doug Gottlieb being a national radio host and the coach of like the Green Bay 49ers or whatever the fuck they are. Like, you know what I mean? Like college basketball guy is like a guy.
I can kind of get behind this. Basically, what you're saying is analytics aren't super advanced at the college level yet. Is more.
No, I think he's
there are some guys like Ryan Hammer's pretty good. He's got the trapezoid of excellence. If you want to go fill your bracket out just based on that, you're probably doing all right. There are some advanced analytics guys, but I think in general, I agree with that sentiment that it's kind of just normie.
I will just say this: the quad one thing was brought forward by the NCAA. Like they're the one who said this is a huge thing, and it's just a way for the normies to understand like teams. And so as they're saying, hey, this is a big element of how we're doing things, they're also saying North Carolina's getting in being 1-12, which is terrible against quad one teams. And
but Justin McMahon said it would be one of like the greatest miscarriages of justice of all time if UNC didn't get in. So
didn't Justin McMahon go to North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
but and then Jack took the opposite route, saying it was the biggest joke in NCAA history that Texas made.
Dude, let's just get Justin and Jack in a room together and just see like
you want the normie views. There we go.
Fireworks.
But
absolute fireworks.
The whole point of this Leone thing, and this is why my response was, I love just how you're talking to normies these days, is Leone, it feels like ever since he's got this position at Establish the Run, it's just like, I'm a data scientist, so I get to dunk on everybody who's misinterpreting the data.
And you know what? It's not just when he started at ETR. It's when he had his own employees, his own data scientist team. I think that's where this really started.
Yeah, I do love, by the way, when like the ETR guys like Cody or Adam or Dink or whoever, when they mention the data science team at ETR, it is just always a little bit like, man, I would love to know what that fucking Slack chat is like. Where Dink is just like, I need you to do some research on like Pascal Siakam's historical rebound rates.
Do
And
you
these
think
guys are just
Silva would have agreed to be a founding member of ETR if he knew in 6 years they were going to have a data scientist team?
If you could
Just
show
no ball, guys. Just no ball.
If you could show this tweet to Silva 6 years ago, would he have agreed to be one of the founding members? Yes or no?
I mean, if you read those last as if it is a mic drop, lacks all nuance. That's what's wrong with much mainstream analysis in sports today. Give me a break.
Dave's gonna find his ETR sub or his comp subscription. He's gonna try and log in, and it's not gonna work the next time.
I'm not on a blacklist. Because Leone sent JJ and me the link to his private bracket. No, maybe he thinks I'm just donating with my mainstream analysis takes, but yeah, I got the link to his private bracket.
Kitchen got
I'm gonna
more
win that
likes
thing
in his reply to that Leone tweet that he's gotten on his own personal tweet.
Oh,
in probably 2 years.
and to Levitan's Leone tweet, because Leone filled in for Levitan, and I guess the hello thing it did not go well, and so Levitan says he's never going on vacation again.
I do love how Levitan has middled this, by the way, the whole ETR thing where he still gets to be man of the people.
1,000%.
Even though he clearly is not a man of the people, but he gets to keep this bit going that
the man versus machine thing where he like, I'm going to side with you. No, I'm going to side with you. Like he keeps it completely in the middle.
Whenever he does like a promo read for the Solver 2 and he's just like talking through his teeth, he's like, yeah, and it'll tell you the best lineups and you don't have to pick out the best plays on your own. You can just tell it's tearing him apart inside.
That's how you have to do it. I mean, that is just really good marketing from, he is an enlightened centrist, 100%.
I want to throw this out to the Swolies. I'd like to have a Calcutta draft for the Swolies. So if you're interested, let's do it tomorrow night. You got to be live. You guys don't have to do it. I'll do it.
There's no way. I'll tell you. I'll just stop you right now. You are not going to organize this. There's absolutely zero chance you are going to organize it.
You don't trust Dave's organizational skills?
Yeah, no. It's going to be us in a chat room and just auctioning off teams.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. I'll bet my net worth this doesn't happen.
literally, Dave.
Freest money of all
fucking
time.
Dave. We could.
All right, no, stop. No, I'm not going to take it. I will not take this.
We can put the money up right now, and you still would not do it. No chance.
You tried to organize the Calcutta in less than 24 hours. Yeah, right.
Calcutta, you just set up a Google Sheet. We'll have links.
This guy just said he doesn't even know how to mark all of his emails unread.
I do know how to mark all my emails read. I just don't have the capacity to go through every one of them.
But you have the capacity to organize a Calcutta and keep all the money centralized and pay everyone who needs to be paid?
Well, we probably need to limit the number of people that are...
This is going to be a Seth Yates 2.0. Dave's just going to run with all the money.
I think, Dave, maybe something more realistic for you to do was we could do like a bracket challenge free roll for the Swolies. That maybe seems more realistic for you.
Yeah, 2018 called Davis. They want their promotion back.
Kitchen just wanted to seem cool by saying Calcutta.
Calcutta.
No,
he wanted to pretend. He wanted to pretend to be Rufus fucking Peabody.
For those that don't know, a Calcutta draft is when you bid on each individual team and you get paid out each individual round. I've done 2 Calcuttas as a part of. In the old school RG days, we did.
Wow, are you part of a sports betting syndicate, Dave? Did you do it with your syndicate buddy?
No. And the best thing that happened during this Calcutta draft is our app developer Derek. He had spent the whole morning of the workday developing his own model, and so we get into this Calcutta draft, Calcutta, and every team that gets auctioned off, Derek has a comment like, "Oh, overspent. Oh, not worth it. Not worth it." Like according to his model, and he bids on one team, which was the Virginia Cavaliers.
They got beat. Yeah,
It was the only year that the 1 seed has gotten beat by the 16 seed.
That's hilarious.
And so it still goes down in Rotogrinder's infamy. Like the Virginia Calcutta team is mentioned probably at least once a month in our little private chat. So it's fun, and I'm going to do this. So
Bet.
okay.
Yeah.
Calcutta.
Yeah.
We'll have.
We all believe you.
I'll figure out an easy way to do it, and it's just for fun.
JJ, that's what Dave is spending his working hours doing today, figuring out how to run a Calcutta for his side gig.
No, now I have AI to help me. So you know what? I got access to Manus yesterday. I'm just gonna have them do it. So
Sure.
All right.
What's everyone's Thursday and Friday looking like? What are you doing? Are you on the couch? Do you not care that much? Like,
I'll be updating projections all day, baby.
Tuttle will be updating projections. What is your action going to look like? Are you playing DFS? Have you done any drafts?
I'll just do DFS.
Yeah. Have you done any drafts in this underdog tournament?
No. Yeah, like I get the it just seems like it's so much work for not enough payoff, right? It's like a 10K up top, 10K. I think.
Yeah, 10K to first.
Thursday is terrible weather here.
So Dave's gonna be inside all day.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about going. So, like for football season, I set up 2 TVs in the garage, and I had the quad box on each of them. So I was thinking about doing that again, but it's going to be bad weather. High of 50 here. Ew.
Man, do you guys remember? Did you have? Because I was telling my 12-year-old about it today because he mentioned his Spanish teacher with the bracket. So back in my day, they used to roll the carts in.
Oh yeah,
we would have teachers that would roll the carts in and put the games CRT
on. Oh, just the nuts. Yes,
I remember watching the OJ trial in my 2nd grade classroom on one of those.
Yeah.
The most memorable was obviously 9/11.
Oh yeah,
with the rolling in the carts and all the teachers.
We were listening on the radio. That was my senior year.
Radio, yeah. Mine was 8th grade.
Never forget.
But yeah, them putting the games on was awesome back in the day.
We'd always go to our coach's office, the athletic office, because they weren't doing anything. They were always watching the games. But back then,
I've really been.
It was all CBS. Like now, you at least have the availability to see every single game. Like back then, they would just jump around, or go to wherever you were, like your regional. So now you can at least get what we're doing. It's like explaining to the girls during our vacation about, because we went to Universal Studios and talking to them about TV. And they could not understand the concept of catching something live and not being on demand. Like they did not understand, like, what you had to, like, could you just watch it later? Like there was no watching it later.
There was no watching it later.
You had to watch it live. It was just a different world.
Well, I got set because when I got hooked into sports because, my dad it wasn't huge into sports, but that's what was on TV. That was like that's what everybody would watch was sports. And I was thinking about how all my kids just do their individual, like when we have screen time, they just go off and do their own thing. They have their little Switch, they go do their own iPad or whatever. And that kind of made me sad. It's like these kids don't know what it is.
Yeah, they don't know about the collective experience. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The sad thing, March Madness legit used to be my favorite thing, like in all of sports. That I think like a lot of people, and I've always had such like an all-in completionist thing. Like I would watch all the games, do all of it. And now I'm just like broken because I'm like, I'm going to be able to watch like 1 or 2, maybe throw up the end of an exciting game. And so now it's just like, all right, I'll fill out my brackets, but like the magic of it is just all lost for me.
All I think
I disagree.
major sporting event is how can this make me money? Like, what can I do to like for content wise or whatever? Like, how can this make me money or give me YouTube?
There is nothing better than March Madness. There is nothing better. Like, Drew Dinkmeyer would make me so angry because, like,
we're really going after the data scientist team today.
He's like, oh, this is bad basketball. This is terrible basketball. Or like a game would be like 55-50 in the fourth.
Well, it is. Can we all just admit
terrible basketball?
Can we just admit it is bad basketball?
Just admit it's bad basketball and move on.
Right, like it's not NBA level players. It's not about that. It's about like the band and like the emotions and one shining moment. You know, like that's what it's about. But robots can't understand that, and so you know that I don't think Dink's there now because now you know he's got a kid and he's married and he's just. He understands like the emotions of it.
Now, Peter, you might know the answer to this question. Is there anywhere that I can like stream like a watch along for March Madness? Because I would just be live for like 10 hours.
Does Get Playback have the rights to the tournament?
It's only NBA and WNBA for watch playback. I like tried to see if it's possible on Twitch or whatever. I couldn't. Basically the answer I think is no, but I don't know. I thought maybe someone, maybe a loyal Swole would know.
What was the playback controversy last night? I saw it on Twitter briefly.
Oh, I missed
something with Stoke and porn being streamed.
Oh no,
that I missed. I missed that.
Yeah, I saw some tweets about it. I didn't get the full details.
I bet you did.
I saw our friend Neil tweeted something about tip to tip. They finally did a tip to tip stream.
Oh gosh.
I did see that tweet from Neil, but I missed the context. I think it might have been on their YouTube. There you go.
Oh,
Stochastic got hacked and streamed porn.
That it cannot be real.
Yeah, like it wasn't like I hear it wasn't like just it wasn't just a sound.
Someone made a joke in one of my comments that referenced balls on Stochastic, and I did not get it whatsoever, and now I get it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's incredible. God, how did I miss that for the overview?
So the issue with this about doing it Chipcast style is I just simply do not know enough about college basketball to do that in an interesting way. It would only be interesting context with basketball on the screen. So I think sadly
I cannot believe that Pete missed this for the overview. That really is like one of your biggest misses.
Is there a link? Like, is there like I want to see like
for educational?
You want to see what they were
purposes.
I don't care about the source material. I want to see them reacting to it.
You just opened yourself up for a lot of links.
I immediately regret it.
Has that ever? You guys stream a ton. Has it ever? Not that specifically, but have you ever like? I don't even know what it would be, but like clicking on the wrong tab or something. Not that it'd be porn, but just like banking information or some shit like that.
We had one time on Chip Chasing where I thought I ended the show, and there was like 30 seconds after where we were still just talking behind the scenes in the chat, and then I saw like chat messages still coming in. We didn't say anything but that bad, but I can't remember any like giant faux pas like that.
I've shown my DMs before. On Twitter on accident, not like nothing bad, but just like
I showed my perplexity history a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you got really embarrassed.
I don't even know what that is.
One of David's myriad of AI solutions. Tuttle, this is another thing you probably missed out on. David had told me on the members only show that he thinks about AI and its possibilities so much that it is ruining his sleep. That he will try and sleep at night, but then he just starts thinking about AI.
Last night, I got such good sleep, though.
You need to. My 3 minute or 3 games that I coached of 4th grade basketball, I try to get AI to give me a good substitution pattern for equal playing time.
It was funny.
It was not good at that. It was not good at that. I don't know if I was asking it incorrectly. I tried to reword it like 50 different times. I was like, these are the exact number of players, the minutes that need to play, give me a substitution pattern so that everybody plays equal.
What
minutes.
tool are you using, Tuttle?
That was just ChatGPT.
All right. Yeah, no wonder.
What a Kitchen's perplexity searches right now is how to organize a Calcutta draft in 20 hours.
I'm not joking. I tried to get. Let's see if I have it pulled up. The other night I tried to see if I could do like they call this vibe coding now.
You being a fan of vibe coding is so fucking perfect.
Yeah.
You're gonna add vibe coder to your bio, I can tell.
100%.
All right. So
Not great radio, Dave.
there's some errors. Yeah. Anyways, I had like a semi-functional Calcutta draft tool because there's no place for this. Let me share my screen.
So what you saying is you've been doing deep research on how to be good at Calcuttas, and then casually we're going to toss it out to the Swolecast audience.
No,
who wants to come do a Calcutta?
No, I haven't done any research on the actual, like what teams are worth, like my own models, that sort of thing. I've just done, like, if you look for anything as far as, like online places for a Calcutta draft, you can't really find anything. It's like all. There you go. Share.
I'm being 100% serious when I say your best way to get this done, David, is just
Google
message
sheet.
Big T and be like, hey, Big T, let's do a Calcutta. You run it, and it will get done.
Yeah,
and you'll actually have people.
That's real. That's real. That's a man who knows how to get things done.
Yeah.
The Swolecast Calcutta draft sponsored by Run Pure Sports.
By Run Pure Sports. Dan, do you want to give out some March Madness upset picks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much. I filled out a bracket. I don't have I think the UC San Diego is my highest.
That's everyone's.
Exactly. I don't have any like crazy unique takes by any.
So you haven't won it at all.
I mean, I got chalk. I'm Duke in Florida.
I've got Texas Tech. I bet them yesterday.
They pissed me off because they rested their guys in the game tournament without any sort of announcement.
I don't think that Colorado State is the slappy 12/5. Colorado State is their favorites. That is the correct one to do. The one you don't want to do, like, it obviously depends on the size of your bracket. If you're doing a bracket with a bunch of fucking pencil pushing nerds who are also on the internet, yeah, do not pick UC San Diego if you're doing that. If you want to get really you want to get weird, Kyle sold me on Lipscomb. They just shoot threes.
Can I ask a question, Davis? Is this guy Kyle who's on your show? Is he one of these college basketball guys you talk about?
I think Kyle used to work
definitely.
for ESPN.
Thirsty Kyle from Fantasy Focus.
Nice.
I have I'm looking through my stuff now. I have BYU St. Mary's against each other in the Sweet 16. Maybe that's
non-slappy. That's non-slappy because the people are, again, the college basketball people are taking VCU as one of their upsets.
Is Lipscomb a 14 seed?
Yes, against Iowa State.
Who does not have Keyshawn Gilbert.
But they just, basically, my criteria as someone who's not a college basketball person and knows nothing is if you're going to pick an upset, just find a team that bombs threes and hope to run good.
Will Pruitt.
Don't know who that is. Yes. Basically, I would say UC San Diego is the number one. That is like taking Jalen Waddle in the second round. I mean, that is basically putting a tattoo on your forehead that you are a full slappy.
You got to remember, though, like, slappy in our space is different than slappy in your office pool.
Yes, 100%.
Like,
you can take them in your office pool.
Yeah.
Well, is it like if you are in a pool of like less than 100 people, the optimal thing is just push the plain favorites.
Yes.
Yep.
Depends on how sharp.
But you have to define how you choose favorites. Do you say favorites by seed or favorites by money line? Because that will change some of the games.
It's really that Final Four champion rounds that.
I mean, yeah,
She'll
Final
catch.
Four in most bracket contests, Final Four is like where you get most of the points.
I'm going to say an SEC team wins it all. And go on a limb.
Don't bet all the underdogs in round one, but the most sweaty loser bullshit that is going to make you money is all first half unders generally on Thursday and Friday. That is just.
I was about to say, if you think it's bad basketball, just bet the unders.
Yeah.
And stop.
Not very fun, but you can do it. Tuttle, are you guys going to have at RG? Are you going to have player prop stuff?
Yes. I gotta post what we have. I posted one already for tonight. I think you give that one out. Valentino Pinedo. This one's he plays for St. Francis, Pennsylvania. I got the overs on his rebounds. So basically what we do is we have an automated, Chris set it up where we have minutes pulled in automatically based on, recent games. And I go through, edit the minutes, and he's got the rates set up. And I just go through and the what he rates as the top bets based on all those edits. I go through and I see if they pass the eye check, and it's been doing pretty well. We had like a 10-in-1 day last Saturday, I think.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's obviously not going to hit like at that rate, but maybe can make a few bucks. And
that's rotogrinders.com.
Yeah. Have you heard of it? I don't know.
I have.
Do they?
You could get it at scoresandodds.com as well.
Are they interested in sponsoring the show, you think?
I'll have to ask about that.
That actually would be one of the greatest bits of all fucking time.
Be amazing. It makes sense, too. It makes sense.
Like Kirk Cousins going back to the Vikings.
It makes sense.
Oh, yeah. That would actually be incredible. Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts. Tuttle, we'll start with you.
Good to be back for the day. I don't look too far ahead, so I have no idea if I'll be here next week or not. But if not, it's been a pleasure.
There will be no soccer next Tuesday. You might have tennis or something, but there won't be soccer.
I'll probably be good. It's usually soccer is the one that's time intensive.
Davis?
I'm streaming March Madness stuff with Fear My Turtle from EstablishTheRun.com, one of their lead data scientists for college basketball. So right after this, going to be doing some props. We're going to probably the underdog tournament is going to close for the playoff best ball or whatever. So we're just going to do some college hoops.
Fear My Turtle he's part of the tree. So he
will
for
the family.
You're claiming FMT is part of the tree. How does that work?
1,000%. He was one of the writers at FI.
He definitely got his content start with us.
Okay.
All right. He shines in his own galaxy now, but I mean, he definitely.
Yeah. But he's.
I thought you were gonna do was Kyle was the first subscriber to Fantasy Insiders. That created a relationship with Sean, and then Sean and Alex are.
No, we had FMT before Sean.
No, FMT before. FMT didn't even know Sean.
Yeah.
Back then, so.
This was when FanDuel had the best college basketball offerings, and now it's terrible. They had the Survivor for all tournament long.
Yeah,
with like 30K up top. Those were great contests.
I remember.
Yeah. But anyways, FMT part of the tree, so he won't be completely infected by the ETR data scientist team. He'll still keep the vibes going. Pete.
Don't forget to become a YouTube member here at the Swolecast. You get access to one free show a week plus the Swole Boss button.
Plus the Calcutta. Plus the Calcutta
draft. Because that's really what's going to do numbers this week. All right.
I can even say it again, and it still won't happen. It's not fucking happening.
Stop.
There's literally
this is happening. I love you guys. I love everyone that tuned in. This is the best time of year. You've got the tournament. You got things turning green. Things coming back to life. No more cold, hopefully. So I can't wait.
Yeah.
I know. It's the allergies. That's the bad part of it. allergies or cold from Universal. So appreciate you all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Friday's members only show where we I guess we'll start to have the first round upsets and Calcutta results. So we'll see you next time. Peace.
Are you David Static from the Swolecast? I was like, yep, that's me.
I just want you guys to know I'm total dust. I'm the problem.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Leave it to the guy with the crypto dunes, Abby, to not understand context.
I should have known you getting 30 likes was directly written by someone else.
You know me, I don't do a ton of research before the show.
I've put no research into this. Don't know if it's true at all.
You're on the right